Right, so trying to go through a question. This is exercise 4b, question 1h from the Year 2 book. Just to look at how we would do this, we're asked to come up with an expansion for this up to the x cubed term. So first four terms of this. First step is I'm going to rewrite it as 2 plus x to the half over 1 minus x to the half, which gives me, I'm taking lots of steps. There actually isn't anything very difficult in this question, but it does have a lot of steps. So you are quite likely to make a mistake if you're not careful in laying out all of the things. So I've rewritten it like this, showing that these are multiplied together. That gives me 2 plus x to the half times 1 minus x to the minus half. That's 1 minus x to the minus half, that part here. Okay, so what we need to do then is obviously create the expansion of the first part and multiply it by the expansion of the second part. So let's do 2 plus x to the power of a half first. I'll use red. So 2 plus x to the power of a half is equal to, we need it to say 1 plus something for us to be able to do this question straightforwardly. So we'll take out a power of 2 and all of that to the power of a half. So that is the square root of 2 times 1 plus x over 2 all to the power of a half, which I can work at as follows. So I'm going to only consider that part, and I'll times by root 2 later. So just a little cutaway here, jottings or notes, or just consider. I'm going to do 1 plus x over 2 to the power of a half. Now that's obviously 1 for the first term, plus n, which is a half, times n, times the x term, plus n times n minus 1, all over 2 factorial, and then x over 2 squared. Okay, and the third term for this one will be a half times minus a half times minus 3 over 2, n times n minus 1 times n minus 2, all over 3 factorial times that cubed. Now this, if I simplify each term, gives me 1, x over 4, thinking that one through, so we've got 2 times 4 is minus x over, minus a 32th of x squared over 32, and the last one will be plus x cubed over 128. Yes. So let me just delete that part there. And so now I've rewritten that so that we can see the red bit. 2 plus x to the half is equal to 1 plus a quarter x minus a 32nd x squared plus 128 of x cubed. Let's do the second part of this, the numerator part. 1 minus x to the minus a half. Well, that's nice, so we can do this one quite easily. The terms will be 1 for the first one, then minus a half times minus x, then minus a half times minus 3 over 2, n times n minus 1, all over 2 factorial, times minus x squared, and then we'll have minus a half times minus 3 over 2, n times n minus 1, times minus 5 over 2, which is n minus 2, all over 3 factorial, times minus x cubed, which gives me 1 plus a quarter x. No, that's a half x. As I said, easy to make mistakes if you're not paying attention. Plus 3/8 x squared plus 5/16. 5/16. Let me just check that. 2 times 2 times 2 is 8 times, yeah, 5/16 x cubed. And now we need to multiply those bits out. We need to do the red one times by the blue one, which should give us the solution to the whole thing. Not forgetting that we have this root 2 still. So I'm going to take the root 2 and put that there first. And now I'm going to do 1 times every term here. So that will give me 1 plus a half x plus 3/8 x squared plus 5/16 x cubed. So now I'm going to take the quarter x and times that through by each term. Okay, so that will give me plus a quarter times 1, that's a quarter x, plus a quarter x times a half x is 1/8, plus a quarter x times 3/8 x gets me 3/32, 3/32 x cubed. And I don't need to do the last one because that'll give me something to the power of 4, which is not what I need. So I'm now going to do minus 1/32 x squared times each bit. So that gets me minus 1/32 x squared if I times it by 1, and minus 1/64 x cubed. And the last bit is to take the 1/28 x cubed and times that by 1, which gives me 1/128 x cubed. And now add that up to get the actual expansion. So that's don't forget the root 2 goes outside, so that's 1 plus 3/4 x plus, adding that up carefully, 15/32 x squared plus, adding these down, 51/128 x cubed. Last step, to rewrite it with the root 2 involved. So straightforward, just rewrite it, having multiplied out. Okay, that's nearly finished. We also need to state for what things it's valid for. So going back to the top, we had the 2 expansions, the red and the blue. The red expansion is valid when mod of x is less than is less than a half, and the other one, the blue, is mod of x is less than 1. So clearly the smaller one is more important, is both have to be valid for this to be true, so only the red one will affect it. So we can finish by stating that this is true, valid if mod of x is less than a half. Thank you.